Saturn retrograde is going back into Pisces on September 1st, and if you've been working in the spirit to make sure that your scales are balanced and justice is being served, oop, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that curve. No thanks. For people who have been doing work to get out of hard spiritual situations, clear their name in the spirit, okay? Make your case in the spirit. While learning the lessons of why maybe those hard things spiritually have met you in the first place, we're about to get out of some bindings, okay? We're about to be done. However, okay, for people who have not been caring about the lessons of spirituality and how they connect to hardship, restriction, and Saturn-related things, well, they're about to be forced into it. Technically, we're all going to be forced into it because it's Saturn, and that's just how Saturn is. And also, either you have collected and you've redirected, and then when Saturn gets into its retrograde position of a new sign, as it's about to on September 1st, then you can move on a little bit. Oh, I'm harvesting this. Let me also think about my future, even though I'm focused on what this is right now. Or the meaningful or it's just an onslaught of like, well, you didn't pick that lesson up, and you didn't pick that lesson up, and you didn't pick that lesson up. This is not to fear monger, okay? I say this to say in the perspective of I have been on a personal level, so discern for you, getting a bunch of curse hex off of myself from my relationships with other practitioners, from other areas in my life, blah, 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 whatever, okay? But it's been a process because Saturn forces us to take our time. Granted, this stuff happened a long time ago. It's also been a clearing here and now. Even though there's been lessons or things that have come up in previous years, right now is a time of finalization because of Saturn's position around those topics. So if you found yourself, for whatever reason, having to close some of that stuff out, maybe you thought you already dealt with it, now it's coming back to the surface again. Or there's answers that you're getting about things that have happened spiritually that have been an issue for a long time, and you just didn't really ever understand why, and you've been thinking about it and listening to it, and now you get it. Okay, for that sort of practitioner, congrats, because this upcoming Saturn in Pisces, the retrograde and the direct, gonna be a cakewalk probably. I don't know what kind of cake you like, but order up, right? Okay. The other part of this perspective I want to sit in is I've had a lot of people screw me over. I don't know about you, but I know about me. That hurt. It was hard. Not fun, okay? And pulling all the spiritual lessons out of that, also really hard. Also not very fun. I can laugh about it now, but I was not laughing then. What is it they say? When you can laugh about it, you know you're done with the lesson or something like that. That cliche applies today. All right. But I say that to say that if you see actively still in your life, which I'm pretty distant from those people that this has happened with, so discern for you if this is true. Also, a fundamental of the Saturn position would be that if you're around those people in your life, you might see, maybe I need a boundary. Maybe I need to back up a little bit because they did do that, and I have learned the lesson. I caught up with it. I don't need to be a part of that downfall. I don't need to be a part of it. Part of Saturn in its relationship to Pisces and Aries, Saturn in general, but also it retrograding back from Aries and going into Pisces, boundaries. I'll always say about my practice, this is the rule that I keep with myself because it's just necessary. Magic can be a little bit dangerous sometimes, right? Just a little bit. Not all the time, a lot, but sometimes there's danger in it. So, if you know, you know. And that's what it is. And if you don't, maybe you don't want to find out. Okay, but moving on. And back to the Saturn position. We got a little off topic. The rule that I keep because of Saturn, okay, Saturn is the energy that taught me this. If somebody screws you over, and especially spiritually, okay, even if it doesn't make sense in the human, but I can see it in my practice. Even if the physical has no explanation, but now maybe my dreams are strange, or there's other stuff in the veil work, or something happens in the spirit for whatever unexplainable reason, and then you do the work and you figure it out. Oh, it came from that person. Oh, I see that now. Hey. Okay, well, things are gonna go your way because, one, you figured it out. Keep the boundary, though. That was the rule. That was the thing that I was gonna share. Keep the boundary. If you figure it out, if you figure out that there's a person around you who is either actively practicing magic that is messing with you, like towards you, or just their normal practice without them directing it towards you or towards your world is messing with whatever you do, yeah, no thanks. You can keep that. I'm good. So keep your boundaries as we go into this this spooky transition of Saturn going back into Pisces with its retrograde. Now, also, like I said, we're all gonna be there whether we've done the work or not up until this point, so there will be more lessons to learn because it's just freaking Saturn and that's what it is. So just keep learning as necessary. The harvest work for spiritual spaces right now is real, so lean into it if you need to. Saturn is not the only one who is influencing this. Also, I want to say, because Neptune is going to still be in Aries during the Saturn retrograde at the beginning, while Saturn is in Pisces, at the beginning of that part of both of Saturn and Neptune's retrogrades, Neptune will still be in Aries, so it's going to be a lot of thinking, a lot of mind work. There's not necessarily going to be a lot of like, oh, let me go curse them back, or let me go do this attack. It's not going to be a lot of that. It might be necessary occasionally, okay, so discern for yourself. And also, it's going to be a lot of thinking. Strategically, why did this happen? Strategically, what about da-da-da-da-da? How can I think about this so I can gain these new perspectives and honor these new tools and honor this new mindset that Spirit is offering to me? Holy cow, you keep that up until Saturn and Neptune both go direct and then they're back in Aries. Okay, yeah, you're a long-term setup for the next era of Neptune in Aries and then also the next couple of years of Saturn in Aries. Congrats, you see my eyes? That's crazy. Keep doing that work. That work is good work. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the fruit that you do. I will too. I have been thinking a lot about that kind of stuff recently, and I will probably continue to sit and think about that kind of stuff recently or soon. Because it's necessary. You know, that's where we're at right now. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Also true.